Hello, hello. It's Bev, and I'm coming on so that I can make sure that the iPad is actually working today. So far, so good. There's nothing like a techie to give you some hints on what to do and what to update to make things work. I will watch for people jumping in, and I hope that you are going to have fun with this one. It's one of those that definitely tests your patience because the pieces are all so tiny. Be sure to pop in and say hello so that I know you're here. And then if there's any issues, you can ask questions and I'll be able to see that you're doing something. We will start in a few minutes. I hope you took time and you have the printout because it will help. And also the pattern piece that I suggested that you get organized. So, with everything in mind, this was my samples, and I did a Christmas one because I know people are making Christmas cards, and I also just did a miscellaneous with paper roses, bees and butterflies. It still has such pretty colors. And this, I have to say, was just some miscellaneous Christmas paper with an accent here. And we will go from there. Now, what I would like to do is move these over. And I am just going with more paper from this collection. Not even sure what it is. It's pieces. Oh, hello, Alicia and Debbie. I hope you'll play along. I know some of you just watch and then you do it later. That's perfectly fine. I am just happy that the video is working today, and it's the iPad, not the phone, which goes sideways and all over the place. So now all I grabbed is some basic white, and I definitely like a print. And then I grabbed, and this is a major, just a tiny accent piece, I think. And this is where when I don't like it, I'll be changing it up. You know that I do that often. So with that in mind, it now tells you on the instruction sheet, this is the little pattern thing I made, and I started with some colors so you could at least compare and then substitute what you wanted. I also squiggled this one out. Instead of two pieces, I put one square in there. When I did it, it wasn't showing the cut line anyways, so whether that's good or bad, you can leave it as a single square or end up cutting those 4 squares. That'll be your choice. Now, so moving that over and keeping it handy, it tells you to get 2 5x7s. And that is because I have a 5x7 envelope and it will fit perfectly in there when it's done. And what I told you to do, scoring from the left side at 2 inches. And I have done that already, so you can do that while I'm talking anyways. How is that? So with that in mind, this is the core section that we're working on, and the accenting is done over here. And actually, I don't even know if I have accenting for this one yet. I'll have to decide. I also said then to cut a 4x4 square, and we are going to be scoring it into 1/2 inch squares because it made it easier for when I was doing the placement to make sure, and it didn't affect, yeah, see there's the little squares back here and they just show, but it basically wasn't an issue gluing everything on top and then gluing it down on top of the base. So that is our main start, and these are our pieces. And then I am going to do it a little kind of in an order. The first one I did, I was all over the map. I have to definitely tell you. But the second one, I was a little more logical and started a certain place and then came back and went from there. So with that in mind, if you cut your 5x7s and score the 2 inches, we can set that aside for now. And this is my 4x4, and we are going to do the scoring. And it's easy, just set it into your scoreboard. And like I said, I'm doing horizontal and vertical. Oops, don't let it move. I have to tip my board all the time because I can't see it when I lay it down. It's so frustrating. Okay, so now we're going to come back and go the other way. And now I'm straining a little to see it, but I think I'm getting the big lines where they need to go. There we go. And this is maybe where I think I did it on the busy side, put the pieces down, and then when I glue it on the back, it worked out fine. I kind of like it. So this is where 1/2 inch and 1 inch are pretty much, I'm going to take some water before I even get started with this coffee. Oh, Suzanne's popped in. I'm having trouble seeing. I hate to say it, but it's so beautiful and sunny outside, and it's got a glare on my screen, so it's hard for me to read. And I know at home there was mega snow, so I'm appreciating the fact that I have beautiful sunshine, but it doesn't help when I can't see. So the ones I wanted to start with is the print. So on this, the print is going to be 4 1-inch squares, and then we're going to do the 1/2 inch squares, which is the ones marked with the G's, and they will be cut in half. Now I have a pattern, and I want my pattern going this way on everything, so it's all the same. If you just have miscellaneous, it can go any way you like, but I am planning on working top to bottom, left to right. Excuse me. So with that in mind, I'm going to do my 1-inch squares first, and this is where try and cut as close as you can. Either go exactly on the lines or left of the line or right of the line, and try and stay consistent. Oh, I might not have to talk. I won't be able to talk as much while I'm doing a few things. I usually do talk a lot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm grabbing them right away and bring them over. Now the other thing I did, sometimes I hate all that little fuzzy cut. So if you want to hold that first square, oh, I actually feel fine, people. It's just this crazy sinuses that are causing my throat to be so bad. Okay, so we have 2. Three. I even had a throat lozenge. Maybe that's why it's causing an issue. I should have maybe just not even did that. Okay, there's our 4. Now, this is where we basically can glue those in. And this is what I didn't do the first time, and I had these funny little pieces all over the place. And that wasn't fun. That's why I decided there had to be something easier. So we're going to do it. Sorry about the Band-Aid on my finger. I was slicing and dicing for supper last night, and the knife got away on me. Doesn't do that often. But you can't do paper crafting if you have a bad finger. So it's called put on a Band-Aid. There we go. It's going to be the funny little pieces that you just will probably find more frustrating than anything. And I think it's just kind of puts you into a little challenge mode. But when it's finished, it is so pretty. So this is my basic print that I chose. I was going to do all black and white, and then I grabbed the red. So I also might change my mind when we get to that piece. I'm going to grab another sip of water. Rather than talking so long and then not having any water, maybe it'll help me. It's time for it to leave, though. I have been sleeping a little better, however, the last 2 nights. Thank goodness. Okay. So basically we're doing the main part in each corner right now. So I'm still using the same paper, and I have to make sure it's going the right way. See, there's where I got the fuzzies. Now, what it says to do is you need 1-inch squares, but then we're going to be cutting them. See, what did I write there? One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and I was all over the map with these. So, yeah, I wrote on here 1-inch squares times 8, or 4 1-inch squares and 4 cut in half. So we did need 8 total. So I'll have to cut this one here. Like I said, I'm just going piece by piece. I found it was easier. So I need more. And like I said, I want to make sure my pattern is going the same way each time. So since we did the 4 1-inches first, this is where it said you could do them in 8 and cut all of them, or go 4 and 4. And we're doing the 4 and 4. Now, this is where I'm going to tell you, though, you need to have your grid, because this one is here and this one is here. So I have a print. So when I cut it here, this one's going to go to the bottom and this one's going to the top. So they are going to be reversed where they are going. So this one has to be square down here, and this one has to be squared up there. So I'm going to cut these all. Same thing again. One's going up and one's going down. I got to keep my prints going the proper way. So let me see. Oh, I might have this one backwards. I do too. Might go on the other side. Let's check it out. It's got to fit on one or the other. Okay, this one goes way down here. This is where I am watching my patterns. just know I really had to. Now, let's just give me a minute. So this one, this square goes up and this one comes down. No, see, it did have to go the other way. It really does have to go the other way. I have to cut another one. That's all right. I'm just going to cut one more. So I've basically been cutting the same way each time, and because of the print on this one, okay, I have to go this way, opposite way. So instead of going the way I was all the time, I have to do a reverse angle on this top one here. And this one might have to go way down over there. Okay. And again, I need a corner. So I have to go, nope. I was going that way all the time. I have to go the opposite corner again, the same as I did. Well, that's why. Silly me. I just have to put them in the right place and I might be okay. It's because I didn't do it the right way in the first place. The first one I did. Okay, so the next one, there's my building. Oh, see, this one I got right. I don't know why I'm so backward on this other one. This one has to go, yeah, that is sideways. Crazy, crazy. If I've tried to put them in the right place. Follow your puzzle properly, people. And like I said, this is probably the most frustrating part of it, is getting the pieces going the way they're supposed to. This one is just so tiny, it's confusing. Okay, I need this square to be square here and cut that way. I need the square. There we go. And the building should go this way. See, now I got it. I was just crazy. Maybe the first one I cut's okay. I just wasn't putting it in the right spot. Let me check it out. So this one, yeah, no, this one definitely isn't going to fit, because it has to go, yeah, no. Okay, I need a square going on the bottom. And the square going on the top. See, that's how easy it is when you actually cut it the right way. So now, glue them. This is where I found this worked. Just keep working, and when you get to the nitty-gritty pieces, we actually just custom fit them to work. Now I have to bring this closest to me. There. I just couldn't see the top of it. This is where I'm looking at my squares to make sure they are now going where they're supposed to. And I can just nudge up to your lines that you see. As long as they're fitting within reason. Once we got to the center, I had to wiggle things a little bit. And I did have to play with one or two pieces a little bit here and there. This gives you an idea. People that do material sewing quilts, oh my goodness, I would not want to be cutting square squares this little. Well, I guess they have to add the extra hemming and sewing, but my goodness, some of them are tiny. Okay, goes this way. And I'm watching the grids. If the little tips are just a little off, don't worry about that. It all comes out when we're finished. The only thing I'm going to say about these, I definitely want to give it to somebody that knows what scrapping is about and who knows what detail would be going into this card, because it is a lot of cutting and piecing. I have 2-3 girlfriends that absolutely love my work because they don't do it. Now I have one friend that actually does quilts, and she will love this card. She will think it's cool that I made an effort to actually do something in a quilting style. She will love it. In fact, I think we'll be putting her name on it. I think I see what? Sheila, Suzanne, and Sheila came on. Like I said, I'm having issues with the bright sunshine. And I know that's teasing you. It's just making it very hard for me to look out. And I didn't want to close the blinds because then my desk gets way too dark. And then you wouldn't be seeing it the way you are either. There. Looks pretty good to me. I like it. And it's forming. Now, which one's a little off? See, this one is. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like that one. I'm pulling it off, and I'm going to cut another one. See, that's why I said, like I said, there's a little bit of, I can't see everything. Okay, I'm just checking if I've got a piece like this one and all those cut up pieces that I did. No, they're all going the wrong way. Of course they are. I'm just checking my buildings, and they are going the wrong way. This one has to go this way. Because I know that, I am just going to put this one in the corner the way it's supposed to be going. Yeah, once I moved it down closer to me, I can see my scored lines a little better. That's why I said it's definitely nice to have. There we go. I love that the glue, once it sets, but if you get it quick enough, sometimes we can cheat. And there, now I have to, it's because of the, there we go. See, that has to match. See, it's supposed to go right there, just like it does, because there's my square. And you can tell then that your square is coming together. And that's why I found it easier by starting with these pieces and working that you can see things coming together, and they still look like the angles are good. Now, I want to do this section here, and this is where it's white. And this is where it says to do the white squares and cut them in half. So I do have some white hiding. There we go. Let's cut some white. And I'm going to come in with my scissors and cut. And I said 4. Oh, I'm going to cut. No, the other ones are different. 1/2 inch. No. Okay, so these guys you're going to cut. Just make sure you do 1/4 in a corner. And this is where they go here and here. And we can cut them all and get them ready. These ones, you just have to make sure they're going the right way. And the 2 of them make the diamond piece. Now I think I got one. Oh, that's not bad. But as you can see, the patterns are coming together nicely. Okay. Corner and corner. And now we can glue. You notice I'm making myself use my tweezers. Between tweezers and fingers last time on all those little pieces, I thought I just had so much glue on my fingers. It's called make sure you don't do that. Now I moved it a little bit because I couldn't see. I have to see my line. There it is. When I do these, like I said, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure. The first one I did, I had 3/4 of the colors picked, and once I got going, I wasn't 100% happy. I definitely had to make a change. Oop, I was going to say there. If you cut the pieces and then you don't like something, I know I'm okay with this section, and this is where the next one might be the one that I just question a little bit. And where I thought I might put red, I just think I need a little bit of color. And if I don't, I'm just going to change it. By then you're not cutting too many pieces, other than they're very tiny by the time you get inside. That's the other thing. Now that you're kind of getting your feet wet and doing bigger pieces and then going to the small ones, it might not be quite so bad. Yeah, I'm going to bring this down. There we go. I couldn't see my line. Make sure you can follow your lines. It'll make the difference. Make sure also when you're grabbing them that you're grabbing and you are making sure which side gets the glue. Because I did mess up on 1 or 2 here and there because I wasn't thinking about it. Now this, I thought of leaving this with the white, but you can feel it. You can feel there's pieces missing because the edge is there. Because you could leave that if you didn't have the lines in there. See, now I picked these up, so I better make sure they're going where I want them. That one goes there, and this one goes there. And I thought, no, I could tell. Even when I got to the middle, the tiny little, tiny one, I could feel that it was missing. It's like a puzzle. And maybe it didn't show, but it looked, and you could see that something was a little off in the dimension. Now this is where, excuse me, this one came over a little bit on top of that one, but not a lot. And I'm not changing it. It still looks beautiful. And this is where, see how you can see it's coming together and it's giving us a nice, nice pattern. I'm really happy with that. So now the next thing I did, this might seem really, well, it's not. The 4 white squares. I like keeping the white in there and then adding the color. So I'm going to stick with that. And we're going to do the 4 white big ones and 1, 2, 3, 4 little ones. So this is where we are going to do half-inch squares on the corners. So I even said corners. So this is where we're getting tiny, tiny now. Half inch is getting down there, I know. Now, this one's crooked, I can see it already. Make sure that you have a straight line still. And see, this is where I don't like using my trimmer to cut that because it'll just make a raw, funny edge all over the place. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try cutting. There we go. Okay, if I go from this side for the half-inch ones, I think it'll work. Okay, so that'll be 2. Oops. Four. We need 4 square. And we're going to cut 4 in half yet again. That one's getting hard to get in there. Okay. Now this is where, maybe that's why I started grabbing scissors, because I was having trouble holding this even just to stay right where you wanted it. So you could cut it because there's nothing to hold down anymore. Tiny, tiny. Okay, I'm going to use these and my scissors. Okay, we have 4 whole ones. Yeah, putting these in the board, I just thought was getting a little more hard, a little more difficult. So 4 there and 4 here, and excuse me, we can come in then with our 4 squares, and they shouldn't be any issue. So we can glue them. I'm not even sure this one had a name. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have a pattern. I made it. So I don't know what their pattern really said to do. I looked at the pattern of the print and I made the pattern for us. And I don't know if it's got a specific name. I know a lot of them do. And the lady that shared it, I just saw the print and I thought, I like what that looks like. And I started with my squares and started playing with color. And this is where, don't forget, if there's something you want to do, you could do bigger pieces and make your own patterns, anything you like, any color you like. It's funny how some jump at you and you think, oh, I love that. Okay, now these are the tiny ones, and we should be able to cut each one in half, corner to corner. Now we're getting tiny, tiny. Make sure you keep them together though, so they are a set. I wouldn't break them up in case something is cut a little off, because if something's a little off, see, I would just recut one if it gets a little out of hand. So now these pieces, now I'm just trying to think. I think I'm going to leave these. I can't remember if I did these right away. So I'm going to go like that, because if something's a little off, those are easy to change. So I now have this heavy black squares, and then these ones that are inside. And this is where I definitely want to go on that section. I definitely have chose the darkest, and I'm going with the black again. And these ones are called gold, and the gold on here says 1/2 inch squares for them, and cut them in half. So we're back to that skinny 1/2 inch cut. And we only need 4. I'm going to grab the pieces and cut them with the scissors again. And these are yeah, see, they said even cut them in half. That's because they're going see, there's where if you kept pieces big and didn't cut them. But I really do like the line that we get. Where did I put my, oh, way over here. So let me peek. We're actually doing this one, and this one is the 3/8 one. Center square is a different size, and those are 1/2, and that is white. Yeah, I'm just checking. I ended up changing the size of those guys for whatever reason. So I'm just going to leave that in front of me. I found it was too big for some reason. So we're going to cut this one. And we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, see, those were fine. I think that's where I had the nitty-gritty, and I told you I cheated and I changed the size of something. And then I custom fit the other piece. So that one there we can put in, and we're going to make sure the square edges all fit. And then I will take a look at the other one. I think that's why we cut them, and one went on one side and one went on the other. We will test it again. Every time I do one, I feel like we're experimenting. Just one more time. Now watch. This is where you want to see your lines. Okay, I can see the line. And this is where the tweezers definitely come in handy. Okay, I gotta turn it sideways so I can see both lines. Just get as close as you can to forming a square. This is where if you cut one a little bit longer, or a little, this is where cutting on a left line or left of the line, on the line, or on the other side of the line can make the difference just a little. We talk about that all the time when we cut things. But see, that's pretty good. We got a half decent square going in there, and we got this square going here. So now I'm going to cut this. I'm going to move that over. That's maybe what I did too. I maybe did try and do the square pieces first so that you definitely know that you've got squares, and then the outer ones go between. And if you have to adjust, this is getting into the area where I did a little bit of adjusting, but not a lot. And I did change the number on something specific, but I already changed that, so hopefully it's going to work for you. Now this is where now we're going to, now let's just check if it's going in right. This is where this one, see that one looks big. I think this is the one I sized down because I think I had issues with it. Yeah, just, and that's, I think that's why I changed it. Okay, so I'm just going to set those aside. And then this is where I said the one square, see, instead of half, I went to 3/8, and that's even tinier. And that's why I said, for whatever reason, those just looked that much tinier when I went to cutting. And doing 3/8 was a little bit of a challenge, because now we're the tiny, tiny, tiny. Got to get rid of the fuzzies. It distorts what you're looking at. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut the first one. I don't like when I end up with that sliver. The paper trimmer, that's so bad. And that one's yucky. But see, it's coming together. I'm liking it. I have to, this is where we did the plain outer edge, and now this is where I would call the colorful section is coming up. Now, I'm just going to check. See, now, I actually left, because they got so tiny, I left those in one square. And I think we'll do the other color. I'm going to kind of lay them in so we have them. And this is where I just go with the flow. When something wasn't quite right, I cut this one smaller. And this is where the squares all looked the same, but for whatever reason, it didn't do exactly what I wanted. Now, I'm not going to glue these for you right now. See, this is where that going to there. And that's why I ended up changing it. Because when we do that, it just seems to be fitting perfectly. Okay, so now we got to get into the other color. Now, so we have the whites and we have the dark. So we definitely need, and this is where I think we need red. We need a real pop of color. I was looking at the mini little stripe, which is pretty, but I'm not sure that it's going to get anything done for us. So we are going to try. So this is gold, and it says 1 inch squares cut in half. So we at least are back to the 1/2 inch again. you can take your mind off those tiny, tiny little ones. Okay, and I said we need 4. I might just put that little stripy one in the center. So there's 1. 2. Sorry if you can't see me cutting them. They are so tiny. Got a little burrs going on there. I had one that was a little crooked. So with these, now I think we want all the lines going the same way. So I'm going to sit them down, and when you're cutting these, we have to cut the same because one goes turned. Well, let's just do the first one and then we need to know what we're doing. How's that? So I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to do it the opposite way. Another one of these that just has too much going on. What can I tell you? So it goes this way, which means this one was cut from there, but you can't do that. So I have to find a spot that has a bottom going that way. There we go. So I'm figuring just go one at a time, because this one should go this way. This is where your little pieces are going to float all over the place on you. And this one is going down there. This is where I said I'm doing one at a time now, because if you got one someplace, the other one will find all. Okay, on this one, I need to go this way, and this one, oh, I think I did that one wrong. Okay, I need one that's going I think I have to cut one more. Get them all going the same way. I just cut it the wrong way. Okay, the one down here has to go up and over. So now let's try. Up and over. And this one goes there. Okay, now that means the one missing here has to be a top square. Top square. And this one doesn't go that way. Yeah, because see, otherwise I got them all going the right way. Okay, this one has to go, that's the wrong way. Well, that's why. Got one here that's wrong. This one goes up. There we go. So maybe now, oops, don't go away on me there. So now the one at the bottom, see, they're all going the same way then. Not that one. Square, square, oops, that's why. Square, wrong way. This way. I think something else must be wrong because I can't have this many wrong. The square goes this way. The square, no, that line is going the wrong way. And this one, it's crazy. This one's got me going here, ladies. I have to cut an eye one. I'll blame it on my sinus not having me thinking right. Okay, so it has to go this way, and it has to go like that. Lines, 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 and maybe this one is right now then. It is. So I don't know what I did, but it definitely was an issue. And this is where I did my reds first, and it's the little black ones that are gonna do the same thing they did when I did my other one. So you know, I'm seeing a lot of white. I'm not sure I love that. I'm not sure I don't want to bring in a really nice piece of gingham. And if we decide to do that, then I'm going to, I'll just have to make sure I'm putting these back where they go. I'm just going to put them straight on top of those. I thought I liked the white, but I'm giving up on the white because everything else had too much white. Oops. Come on, glue. Don't start now. Okay. So we want to get these within the square. And that was when I found out that the other ones weren't fitting properly, and I cut them down. Yeah, see, this will go. Because normally everything should have been 1/2 inch. When I figure math, I mean, it's got to work, right? And I thought, nah, it's just not, but it was working though. It wasn't doing exactly what I thought it should. Because even the squares still measure. When we did, that's why I told you to do the grids. Okay, this one has to go this way. Get up there. So this is where I get my fingers in the glue. Maybe there's not enough coming out. I don't want too much, it'll be oozing all over the place. So this is where, until they start going together, I'll be honest, it's hard to tell if all of a sudden there's just a piece that isn't giving you the color you need. I knew I liked the little houses on the outside. And like I said, I guess this would be trying your patience. I think once you do it, it's maybe trying while you're doing it, but when I had it done and I saw how pretty it was, I think I was sold. I was convinced that yes, it was worth it. You didn't have to be questioning whether you would do it again, and I thought yes, I would do it again, and I made my second one. And like I said, my second one ended up, whoops, try way over here. See, it's coming together, and it's that part, excuse me, it's that part that just is so pretty. Now, this is where, see, it had to be, and even then, I'm going to check just a smidge off because, well, if I take it right into there, it fits. That'll go. This is the one we cut at 3/8. Half was too much, just way, 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 way too much. And if it goes over top a little bit, don't worry about it. I like the way it was when I went right there. Now, it's hitting over the edge there and there just a little bit, but I know it, and I'm not even sure you can see that. And we already cut it down in size, so I'm not cutting it down anymore. That's fine. As long as you get this beautiful image going, I'm happy with it. But I like the white in there, but I'm going to put up. Oops. Now, this is where these look way too big, and I already cut them down. See how tiny that has to be now? That definitely, I'll be honest what I did. I held it in my finger, and I cut all of that off. And then it fit. Now, if you don't care, you wouldn't even have to do those. So if you really, really, really don't want to put those in there, see how tiny they are? Like those are mini mites. And I cut these here even that much smaller. I bet you this has to be the 3/8 and then cut instead of the half. But I just hand cutted these at the very end here. But because it's white, you know what? I'm not even going to do it on this one. I did it on the last one. Let me grab so we can actually see. See how tiny they got? They were so, so, so tiny going in there. And those fit now. And now we have to do the center. Now, the center one, I just measured, and I think the little stripey in there would be cool. And you know me, I usually don't measure too much, but I'm going to measure, and it's like 5/8 by a heavy 5/8. So I'm just going to cut a heavy 5/8 square and see how it fits. So I'm going to start with 5/8. Now, this is where I might be picky too. Do you want the lines going crooked, or would you like to see the lines up and down? And I'm sorry, I need the lines going up and down. So I am going to cut, I'm going to cut one 5/8. I'm going to check that it fits. Whoop, see, it had to be heavy on the other side. I need a little heavier on the one side. So we're actually custom fitting. How's that? We're going to custom fit. And once I get the size I need, then I'm going to be nitty picky. Okay, oh, now I got it too heavy. I guess you're better off to get it too heavy and then just cut till it fits. Okay, it fits. Now, this is where, are you ready? I want the line going up and down. So bring this in on top of those lines. I'm going to turn it around so I have a nice edge. And I want to hand cut this so it's going to be the other way on the lines. So I'm hand cutting the centerpiece because you want a specific direction. There, get rid of it. There. See? Makes a difference. I love that now. I like it. And those are just, I don't know how you would otherwise do it, but that's my way of doing it, just to fix it the way you want it. I do like that. And like I said, I think we need a touch more color. So I think for this one then we're going to go back to our, I want to say it's the 1-inch squares, and we need 4 of them. So I'm going to go 1 inch. And see, I don't like that either. I want to check how wide is 1 inch. I want to go in the middle of the black. So I'm being picky. What I did is I just measured. I hope from here to here is 1 inch. Not quite. So I have to, let me try again. So I either want black to black. Okay, so I want to be on the outside of the black and the outside of the black. And now I can go 1 inch again. Yeah, that's all right. And I'm just going to check 1 inch. It's almost like it's a little skimpy. Well, I guess not if you turn it the other way. I think it'll work. But it's another one of these that I hope we can have all running the same way. That's the only thing when you're using plaids and lines and things. So I'm hoping, okay, where's 1 inch? Well, I guess this way I'm not going to worry about it as long as the other way is right. Yeah, there's no way. Well, almost. Outside of the black line. I'm going to try. I'm trying to get there, people. I'm being picky. So if I have that one. So it's almost to the, I hope I can get 4 out of this. Yeah, I'm losing a little bit on each one. Come on. Make it work. Give me what I want. Just a little bit. And then I have to cut them all the right way, go on the next cut. So see, that one went a little heavy. Oh, maybe because that's all right. Has to go this way. I think I got 4. All these fun little pieces. Let me get rid of some of them here. Otherwise they'll be on my floor. Okay, and this goes this way because of the lines. Now, this is where I think if I cut through that way, I'm not sure. I want to see. If one of these, okay, the outside edge. Well, they're kind of matching up a little if I go from one to the other. I think this one would be better. No. This one. Yeah, see, that's better. Yeah, you just have to see what's going to match, what it's doing. And if I really have to cut another one, I guess I could. So this is the plainer one. And this is the plainer one. So this one. And this one. See, it does work for whatever reason. Yeah, I like the extra color. Or it could be plain black. What do you think of plain black, ladies? I know it's only 2 or 3 of you left. But would you like plain black in there? Or would you like to see it come back in red? I would love your opinion. What are you seeing? Do you like the plaid? Would you like to see red? The way it is. You like the way it is? You know me, paper clips and things so that you can see what's happening, right? If we went with black, This is where you definitely have to, like I said, you might change your mind when you get where you're going, and that's not a big deal. And like I said, there's only one way to decide. And just for kicks, I don't hate, excuse me, I don't hate the plaid. I think it's called, I just don't love it. Maybe if it was a smaller print. What do you think, people? Anybody changing their mind? Yeah, like the plaid's all right. I mean, you could go too red, too black. Yeah, the plaid's not bad. I'm just all over the place, right? Make up my mind. It is pretty though. And notice the detail in the center. If I glue it quick, I won't be able to change my mind. How is that? All I have to do is find, oh, way over there. I'm losing everything. Now, I have a couple of these that I were specific to Christmas. And if I have them handy, and if you think you would like to do a few what I call easier, I actually really like the easy one. That was a Christmas tree. Let me just step up and take a look here. These are ones I have that I did previously. This is one, and those are easier because the squares are bigger. And some of these are different. You see, that one's the same. I just went with the plain there. Oh, I know why it's different. This one, I tipped this one and put the Christmas trees this way. So it's like this instead of a square. So that one is a very easy one. This one is 1-inch squares and then a couple diagonal ones here. Yeah, see, it went through here, change up here, and then through the center. So that was that one. And just a minute, the Christmas tree is cute. And if you wanted to do the Christmas tree one, then just let me know, because that one is 1-inch squares patterned and changed for a square to make a designer tree, and that is quite cute. So if you'd like another day sometime doing what I call Christmas ones, I could share the pictures and then you could change up and have fun with a whole bunch of them. But for now, let's get the gluing down on this one. I'm just moving my computer. I can't read. These Christmas ones are so pretty. Yes, we could do those. I agree. It draws the attention to the gingham. Yeah, the gingham was stronger. And the other stuff still holds its own, but the gingham was quite pretty. Okay, get my line, couldn't see it. Whoops. That slid a little too far. Well, let me know your opinion if you would like to do more of these, even if it's a week from now. I got a couple things planned for Thursday, and I can change into next week if you would like to do some easier plaids and trees and Christmas. Like I said, I could take pictures of them, and if they're all done in inches, and I can give you the start sizes, then we could just play with a whole bunch of them, because they are cute. This one, like I said, was what I called more challenging, and I'm glad I did it. And I do have a friend that will appreciate what went into it. Actually, two friends will appreciate the fact that it's all pieced. It's good to challenge yourself once in a while and make yourself do stuff that makes you concentrate and figure things out and just have fun at the same time. I'm going to pull this one up quick. That's okay. It's not bad. Now, this works so good. I don't have anything really popping out. Well, there's a smidge right there. Just a little burr. And that's why making that base to start. Now, I can feel where we went on top of the white, because you can feel the ridge. But other than that, it's fine. Now, this is where I'm going to go with black and red. And I would like more red and just an edge of black. So I'm just going to, this is where I was mounting it a couple times. And you can do whatever suits you. If you want to go a big print, totally different, that would be your option too. I just happen to have these fun pieces, which is really cool. And I like them. See, that almost fits. But no, I'm just going to go with the black on an edge, because I know I come back with the bigger piece of red then. And that'll be nice. And it could have been just a black cardstock instead of the little bubbles, but I kind of like the little dots on it. And this one can be as big as I want, because that still fits. So get your pencil and mark and cut. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't even thought of the other side yet. This paper really didn't have too many prints left, because I was using what I called partial stash. So I might have to come back and share what I end up finishing on the other side. Because I did stamp, I didn't even show you on the inside. Yeah, see, I put a little strip of paper, and I'm going to stamp in this one. I'm not sure if I did anything on the other one or not. Yeah, this one, I had a butterfly. So I took the butterfly and put it in so I can stamp inside. And this is where we do the borders and have some fun with it. So this is where I'm going to finish this part. I don't like little white burrs. Okay, make sure it's going to fit. Oh, and this is where, this is just too easy. The 2-inch strip, all you do is glue them together. So we have a nice flat side panel. Now you could make this whole card without that and make it a perfect square and put it in a square envelope. But I just thought it was kind of cute being able to decorate different and have the plaid off the side. So another option is to just go with a perfectly square 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, but you'd have to alter your pattern and your design because those other ones were just squares. This was just a different shape to have fun with. Oh, I'm getting little bubbles and gurgling going. I must need some glue soon. It's telling me it's time for glue. Okay, make sure that lines were going the right way, and whoops, except my buildings, almost. I was checking the lines, gotta check my buildings because they are little buildings with little trees on them, which probably doesn't show a lot to you, but I saw it and I thought it was cute. Now, I'm also, this is where I don't think I have actually, I think I'm just going to go crazy and go from black 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black lines. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to pull the gingham into the panel. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what I have left, but I might have to go scrounging into something that will work. I'm going to cut it above this black line because I'm trying to stay consistent. It's not the same size, but I like the black and black to start and stop a gingham. Whatever you get used to. I guess when I worked with letters and fabrics and uniforms, everything had to line up and be perfect. And I think it carries over to my fetish when I see things. I would rather see it a different size. So I'm going to have to find something fun to decorate over here. And I'm going to leave it for now. And this is where I could put a strip here just to carry the gingham inside. But see, now I got white and white on the outside. So if I want to go, I don't want to lose too much. So this is where I can handle if I go from white to white. So I have to figure out where to cut. No, it has to go black to black. because otherwise it doesn't fit. Oops. Just get the right one. This one's a little crooked. My eye sees that. And this is where if I want to put that in there for design. So I kind of pulled the plaid from here to inside, which is cool. And I will be stamping it, and I will be deciding later. I might even, see, the tree is really cute. I might even find myself a real cute Christmas tree and pull it just a little more Christmas into it. I think I have a stamp and a die set that I maybe could go with. And I will decide. But I will play, and I will share with you the finished card when it is totally done. But in the meantime, I always say, please share the card you make and put it in the comments. And you can share it in my other card groups and in the other groups, so everybody can see your beautiful cards. It's an inspiration to everybody to see the different papers and what they look like when you mix and match them. So have a great day. I'll see you Thursday, 3 o'clock. We've got something fun to play with. I hope you have all the things in your stash that you need, or I just might have to see you ordering some stuff and playing later. I'm not sure. So have a great day. Take care. Bye.